My name is Jason.
My name is Tom.
And this is a comic strip AP of Monster of the Week, featuring the story of Robert LaRousse. And Robert, when we last saw you, you had just finished doing some research in the library of the Lombardi school and had learned a little bit about what we think the creature and this cult is up to, as well as how to permanently, or at least for a very, very long time, dispatch the creature, which is to disembowel it and stuff the cavity with rock salt and silver. Rock salt, no problem. Silver, no problem. You're a world famous cat burglar, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's the other bit.
Yeah, it's just
the problem.
The small obstacle of overpowering and disemboweling a goat-headed demon monster.
Well, so what do you do?
Well, as mentioned earlier, I need to go check on my equipment, and I will make my way out of the library, just pretty quietly, and I go out to the car park in front of the school, and there's my car, and it's got a little holdall on the back seat, or in the footwell of the back seat. I kind of open that up and look in, and yeah, sure enough, there's knives and bits of, gadgets that we're not even sure what they do, but they look like they might be for burgling. And I've got my black jacket back on by now, and I adjust my tie, and I stop to look out across the city at the other 6 hills, since we're on one of them, and take a last look at it before I go underground. And actually, I'll take off my sunglasses so that I can see it like it really is, just in case I don't see it again. And with bag now in hand, I need to go and find those 2 more ingredients somewhere inside the school, I think.
Well, so it is probably the middle of the day still, and you were previously in the guise of a Soviet diplomat. I assume that at some point you would have exchanged pleasantries and goodbyes with Signora De Luca and then gone to do this, or are you going back in to do all that?
That's a good question. I'm not sure how long Anastasia can keep up the doing a tour thing, although I am a Soviet diplomat, so urgent business could call me away and I could have left.
Indeed.
Anastasia.
Yeah.
I'll leave a note to that effect at the front desk, perhaps. I mean, not that schools have front desks, but the equivalent thereof.
Sure, yeah. I'm sure there's like some sort of student who functions as a hall monitor or something. I don't know, like some kind of student who can pass a message along, right?
Yeah. And then, I mean, my disguise of being some random guy who looks like he's supposed to be here is quite similar to my Soviet diplomat disguise. It still involves wearing a black suit, but this time without the ostentatious Russian accent.
Well, so what's your approach? I mean, are you just going back in, or are you waiting till later, or what?
I know, I'm just going back in. I think I will be better disguised amongst the comings and goings of the students and staff at this time. And also, I've been seen around the place already, so I don't think anyone will look twice at my face necessarily.
Right.
I think basically I need to go get some salt. Kitchens, I suppose?
Yeah, probably not too difficult to do that. Towards the rear of the building, there is a cafeteria with a kitchen that is next to it. What's your approach? You just go back there and say, hey, I need some salt, or what?
Well, almost. But this is a case where I'll regain the guise of Soviet consular attaché, or whatever it was. And I will kind of go out to the back entrance where the staff come in and out, and basically feign that I'm there for a crafty cigarette break, and then when member of the kitchen staff comes out, look all surprised and apologetic, and I'm excuse me, it is a filthy habit, but I am, really desperate for a cigarette. Do you have, how are you saying, lighter?
I think the person who comes back there is a younger guy. He is early 20s or something like that. He's got an apron and a hairnet on, and he comes back there and he's like, yeah. And he takes his, I think he's got his cigarettes rolled up into the
in
his shirt sleeve. Yeah,
okay.
He's got his cigarettes and lighter rolled up into his shirt sleeve, and he takes those out, and he says, "So you're from Russia?"
Yes, I'm from Tatarstan Oblast.
Oh. So, this whole communism thing, what's that all about?
It is about prioritizing needs of many over needs of few. I mean, you are a working guy, right? But you see all around you, it's the big fat cats who are taking everything that you produce. Well, in communism we try to make it other way around. Workers owning means of production, so on and so forth.
And he hands you the lighter. He kind of gives you a nod. And do you have your own cigarettes, or are you borrowing one from him?
I do have my own cigarettes, so in fact I'll offer him one. That's the polite thing to do.
He takes it.
They're not Russian cigarettes. I should.
He's like, oh, this is the brand. This is the brand my dad smokes. You're having your smoke with this guy. We'll name him Giuseppe, and so the cigarette is probably going a little long, right? Like and you guys are chit chatting about this or that, about different philosophies or whatever. It seems like he's maybe like a college student or something, or he goes to university. Are you going to try to get him to give you the salt? Or what's your move here?
I'm just going to... No, once we say our goodbyes, I'm just going to stick my foot in the door and grab it from the pantry.
Ah, I see. Without being seen, right?
Yeah.
Just give me an act under pressure.
Sure. I should have memorized these by now. Cool, +1. Okay. With a +1, that is a 10.
When you step inside, there is... he goes in, you kind of put your foot in the door, you go inside after him. Inside the main, there's like a large, walk-in pantry, and nearby there is a very, very broad-shouldered, stout woman. She has a great big wooden spoon, and I mean huge. It's like the fairy tale sized wooden spoon, and she's got it plunged into a great big vat of some kind of sauce, glistening slick white sauce, and she's just stirring and stirring, right? And just describe how you get past her to grab the salt.
I sort of walk out of her line of sight carefully until just at this point where you almost have to squeeze past her to get to the cupboard. And at that time I employ a classic distraction technique, which is that I fling a now empty cigarette packet at something in the other direction on the counter, so it knocks over a salt cellar or something, ironically, but not the right kind of salt. As she looks right, I lunge to the left and grab it's catering-sized salt container, which is maybe not that handy, but maybe about the size of 2 Coke cans stacked on top of one another.
Yeah, that's great. Salt in hand, then what?
Well, purloining silver is very much more my métier, so I know where to head for this kind of thing, and that is the upper rooms where people keep their valuables. And I think I might have spotted a few choice items on our tour earlier.
Yeah, in fact, I think one of the things that Signora De Luca showed you on the tour was they have a group of parents that donated a number of art objects and other things to the school, right? And so the school has museum of different pieces and things, and you did see a number of fine antique silver pieces from the Medici times or something like that, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I'll go and actually they're on display, so there's not even that much breaking and entering involved. It's just a small matter of getting into the display case. I noticed.
Indeed. So yeah, you get to this place, and I think it is on one of the upper floors, and because it's the middle of the school day, there aren't a lot of people around, but there is. Um, you do see two things. There is an old man in a gray security guard's uniform who is sitting in a chair in the hallway. If you just kind of walk by casually, you'll see him in the hallway sitting in this chair. He's on one end of the hallway, and then the door is there in the middle of the hallway, and then on the other end of the hallway is that big Saint Bernard. It is sleeping on the other end. So you've got this old sleepy old guy, and the old man too is also kind of like, seems like he's like nodding off like periodically. So he's there, the dog's on the other end. You got to basically sneak past them and get into this this little museum thing.
Okay. That bloody dog. All right. So I guess this is the time to deploy the burglar move.
I think that sounds good. Yeah. Read the text to us.
Sure. When you break into a secure location, roll plus sharp. On a 10 plus, pick 3. On a 7 to 9, pick 2. And the options are: you get in undetected, you get out undetected, you don't leave a mess, you find what you were after.
Ah, very good. I'm going to count this roll for just the whole sequence of you getting past these past the guard, past the dog, and into the museum. Sure. So just give me that roll plus sharp.
Okay. Well, with my sharp plus 2, that's a 5. I might spend luck on this, I think.
Your choice, or mark XP. Keep the roll.
Oh, like I'm going to spend those XP. I'll spend the luck.
Okay, so you get to pick 3. Just to describe your lucky break first, as far as like how this all goes, and then just kind of tell me what you pick on the list here.
So I give the dog a wide berth just because, you know, it's that dog, and instead approach from the old guy end. And in fact, that's all fine. He's pretty dozy at first, but then when I get to the door, it's like he's got a sixth sense, and he's starts awake, and he's just kind of blinking the sleep out of his eyes and focusing on who's that guy over at the forbidden door, when there's a sort of shriek of delight and terror at something going wrong, and the sound of a vase and maybe something else expensive smashing, and some girls running away down the stairs in the other direction, and he looks around and immediately runs off to find out what happened.
Nice. Which choices would you like to make for your burglar move?
Well, I think the 3 I need are get in and out undetected and find what I was after, so that means I have to leave a mess, and time being of the essence, I may just smash the glass of a display case and grab what I need and be done with it.
Sounds good. I think we'll pick it up next time. Hi, this is Jason from The Gauntlet. If you enjoyed this episode of Comic Strip AP, be sure to check out our YouTube channel. We have many other Comic Strip AP shows available, each organized in their own sequential playlist for easy listening. Just go to youtube.com and search for Gauntlet RPG.